Parents, they'll do anything for their kids. Drive carpool, proofread essays, stalk the roommate on Instagram. But when it comes to college search, what exactly should parents be doing? Today, we're talking about the role of parents in college planning. How to help without hovering, guide without taking over, and support without suffocating. We've got expert Kristina Dooley here to help us figure it all out. Let's get into it.
It's the College Talk Show. Today's theme, the parent role in college admissions, with special guest, Kristina Dooley. And now, here's your host, Chris Bell.
Parents want to help, but college admissions can feel like trying to defuse a bomb with a teenager holding the instructions. There's this unspoken fear: if I say the wrong thing, I'll ruin everything. Spoiler, you won't. But you can make things smoother. Some students feel their parents are too involved, others feel like they're doing it all alone, and you have to navigate that according to your family norm. But the truth is, there's no single right way to parent through college planning. I do think there are some tips to share and some analogies to consider, and we'll get into that today. There's a fine line between being supportive and maybe writing your kid's essay in a font that suspiciously matches your holiday newsletter. And students, if your parent seems a little intense about this process, remember, they're not trying to drive you nuts. They're just trying to help you in the only way they know how. I'll be honest, as a parent myself, I get it. We want to help. We want to guide. But most of all, we want our kid to feel confident that they've earned this, that they're the one plotting their path. In some ways, college planning and the whole college process is a rite of passage. And learning to let go for us parents is a rite of passage for us too. That's why we're bringing in Kristina Dooley today. She's worked with hundreds of families and she knows exactly how to bring the drama down a notch. Stick around. We'll be right back.
This episode is brought to you by Bell College Consulting. Visit bellcollegeconsulting.com to learn more.
I am so happy to be here right now with Kristina Dooley. She's a nationally recognized certified educational planner, the founder of Estrella Consulting. She has over 2 decades of experience in admissions and college advising. She helps families work together in ways that reduce stress and foster independence. She's a leader in this field, a frequent presenter at national conferences, and a trusted voice for parents seeking to support their students thoughtfully and effectively. We are lucky to have Kristina here on the College Talk Show. Kristina, thank you for joining us tonight.
Of course, that was quite the introduction. Wow, you're making me blush.
Oh, you know what? I forgot to say you're also a good friend. So
Yes.
we're talking about this subject of the parent role in this college planning thing. And I suppose the first question really should be the big one of what is the ideal role for parents in the college search process?
A lot of people say, parents, let your kid drive, let them be the one leading this process to keep yourself, at a good distance from all of this. And I actually think there's more of like a compromise, a middle of the road solution to that. I don't think that parents should be completely hands off at all in this process. I think it's necessary for them to be involved, but I do agree with the idea that the student should really be the one, if we're using the driving analogy, the student should be the one driving, but the parent is absolutely front seat, because how many times are we in the car and we say to our passenger, hey, can you just check the side mirror, make sure I'm not too close to that car? There's advice that you get from the passenger. They're not telling you what, where to go or exactly the direct navigation, but they're there to help you when you need that help. I think this idea of choosing academic areas of study, I think, is one where, as parents, and I'm a parent, I should say the parent of 3 teenagers, I think the idea of us jumping in and saying, hey, Johnny, you're great at this, so you should study this. And so I think maybe holding back a bit and asking more probing questions about what makes them happy, in their schoolwork. If they like math, what about math? What do you like about that? Or if they like language arts, what is it? Is it, you're a voracious reader, or are you interested in the content, or do you want to write? There's more probing questions like that. I think that can be helpful with students deciding what they want to study when they go to college.
Do you have any other thoughts on what mistakes or ways that parents might be maybe crossing the line in too much driving of this process?
Yeah, sure. So I think one of the biggest mistakes I think that I see parents making is not giving the full financial picture to their students, or at least a good sense of it. They don't have to reveal all of their financial information to their teenager, but I think giving students a realistic sense of what is within our budget and what is not. If there is a budget, they need to know there's a budget. And I think that's a major mistake. I think a second mistake that parents make in the process is trying to live vicariously through their teenager, meaning I did not get to do this, so therefore I'm going to hope that you do it. So I think thinking that way, this is not our college search. This is not our path. This is our teenagers. And so, projecting on them what we wished we would have done is not helpful. I think actually that can really backfire. One of the things that we tend to do as parents is we tend to look in the rear view, meaning we say, oh, but we should have done this, or like, and using that we term as well. But oh, they didn't do this, so now they don't get to do this. The rear view is behind. There's a reason. A parent actually said to me once, "There's a reason that the windshield is bigger than the rear view mirror." Sorry for all the analogy. I love
It's
analogies
great. This is great.
because I work well with analogies. I understand things better through analogies. But I think about, for example, when my husband and I were house hunting, we are looking for a new house, and our realtor would take us in, and he would say to us, go ahead and look around. And then at the end, we would give him feedback on what we saw and what we liked and didn't like. It was not the reverse. It wasn't we drove up and he said, look at this lawn, or oh, look at that. He was not projecting his opinions on us. At the onset, he waited to get our feedback. So I think one of the mistakes parents make sometimes is, for example, campus visits. They go on a visit and right away they get in the car and say, oh, can you believe this? Or, oh, I loved this. And the student maybe didn't really like that, or maybe what the student or what the parent saw as a negative, the student, it didn't bother them so much. So I think parents should take more time to listen. Just listen. And again, I mentioned earlier, asking probing questions, those kinds of things, versus projecting our opinions on them, because we're not them. They're different people than we are. So I think we need to value what their thoughts are on things.
For students watching this, what's one thing you wish they knew about why their parents might be acting the way they are?
Students, your parents are acting the way they are because they love you and they want the very best outcomes for you. They want you to share everything about you. They want you to share all the shining moments of your life. We know that's not possible in any capacity with the application, because they love you and they want you to be the very best that you can, and have the best outcomes in this process. I do want to say to students, though, it's okay for you to also have the conversation with your parent and say, hey, this is making me anxious, or this is stressing me out. Could we reserve, for example, and this is a strategy I've heard that lots of families do, and it's very successful, is can we set aside time for college talk, versus it being, I walk in the door from school and you're throwing questions at me about something with the college stuff. Can we set aside dedicated time every week that is strictly for that conversation, and the rest of the time we table it, and that way it's not causing me anxiety every moment of the day.
As we sort of wrap this up, I'm wondering if there's one thing you wish more families understood about working together during college planning that we haven't already hit.
And the ones where it's the most successful are the ones where the communication is there. And I think for parents, the most successful way to lead your child through this process is, again, remember that your seat is in that passenger seat, not in that driver's seat. Don't reach over and grab the wheel.
Love it. Thank you so much for joining us, Kristina. That was
You're welcome.
rich, valuable information. Stick around, we'll be right back. This is the part of the show where I highlight some of the main points that we covered today. It's kind of a summary, but we call it Top Tips.
Top tips. Top tips. Kind of a summary, but we call it top tips. Top tips.
Here we go. For the parents, number 10, ask questions. Number 9, discuss budget up front. Number 8, take time to listen. Number 7, hear the student's thoughts before sharing your own. Number 6, set times of the week aside for college talk. Number 5, you're in the front passenger seat, the student's driving. Number 4, no vicarious do-overs of your college days. And students, number 3, it's okay to set your boundaries. Number 2, your parents are acting out of love. And for everyone involved, your number 1 tip for the parent role in college search: communication is key. So there you have it. That's your list. And that's the Role of the Parents show. Thank you again to Kristina Dooley. And remember, college is awesome.